Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to Magic the Gathering Arena with the Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths expansion set. We're going to be playing with my deck Lurrus Kitty King, which is focused around the new companion Lurrus of the Dream Den, who is a legendary nightmare cat. This is a sponsored video, sponsored by Wizard of the Coast, and if you too want to play Magic the Gathering Arena and have a nightmare cat as a companion, there is a link down below in the description where you can click and you can go play Magic the Gathering Arena for free right now if you want a nightmare cat as a friend. Plus side cat, downside nightmare. So we're going to whip this one out and I'll explain afterwards more about the deck in detail. So our starting hand is acceptable. We'll keep this. It doesn't have any white mana, which is annoying. I guess the Triome is white mana, but the Triome's mostly there as a just in case. You know what, we will play the Triome. So the reason I have Triomes in the deck is we're not using the 3 colors. We're just using 2 of them, but it has cycling. And later on, we don't need a lot of mana, so we just tend to cycle out the lands as we get them and get a different card going. We'll play the Serrated Scorpion and the Hunted Witness. Both of these are great in this deck. Hunted Witness is a 2-for-1 because it creates a token when it dies, so you can sacrifice it, get a token, sacrifice the token. And Serrated Scorpion deals damage to them, gains its life when it dies. Like, quite a lot, actually. It's an Ikoria card, 1 mana. Okay, now we've got our planes, which is lovely. I could play Lurrus this turn, but that would be a mistake, I feel, because they could sacrifice, exile it. It's unlikely in their colors, but it could happen. So I'm instead just going to play the Bounty. And then all attack. Okay, 2 mana left open. Well, we'll play the Witness. Call of the Death Dweller is a really good card for us, but it requires stuff to be in our graveyard. And we could play Lurrus again. I don't want to. I'm waiting for Kaya's Ghost Form, which will protect Lurrus. We've got 4 in our deck. It'd just be nice to have them. I guess we could always use Life's Bounty to protect Lurrus. Prince Charming. Call of the Death Dweller is great. Get up to 2 cards back with a total converted mana cost of 3 or less. Put a Death Touch on one of them and put a Menace on the other. Actually, I think you can put both on one, right? Yeah, you can put both on the same card if you want. You're looking for something with your Scry. Godless Shrine, I feel at this stage we'll just have it enter tapped. And then I'm going to have all of you attack. Serrated Scorpion dies. We're going to play Lurrus. And then we're going to not play the Scorpion. I want to be able to use you to give Lurrus protection in case they try and play something on Lurrus. Okay.
All your ways.
Sure, just going to gain some life.
Now do you see the benefits of peace?
Spark Harvest. Destroy type creature or planeswalker. Yes. We have to sacrifice something for it, though. So we're going to play the Scorpion. And then we're going to... Oh, we could just play this for mana, but we wouldn't have any open mana. No, we would have open mana. We're going to pay it. We're going to just kill the Planeswalker. Oh, we don't have any open mana. Okay, this is a bit risky for Lurrus, but whatever. And then attack with all of you. Now, Lurrus allows us to get back any permanent with converted mana cost of 2 or less, so the sorcery doesn't count, it's not a permanent. Okay, we drew a Serrated Scorpion, which is beautiful. And then... get you to charge in. Technically, we could play Call of the Death Dweller and get these guys back, which would be hilarious. You know what? I'm actually going to do it just because it's funny. And then you get Death Touch, and the other one can get Menace. And we still have an open mana to use Life's Bounty to give protection to Lurrus if they try and kill Lurrus. There are a lot of cards in our deck that synergize. Right now, there's not a massive lot of synergy going on because we need like Cruel Celebrant or Priest. What's her name? Priest of Lochlin or something, whatever she's called. Okay. You're going searching for cards. Ah, they're playing their own Life Bounty. Alright, my turn. Priest of Forgotten Gods, that's the one. I can just use her to give someone, like, a real bad day. So, we're going to attack with, I think, 2 Serrated Scorpions. Yes. And you know what? Let's attack with both of you as well, because at least you'll kill something. And then we can use Lurrus to bring back a Serrated Scorpion. Now, Lurrus isn't protected right now. Oh, actually, sorry, no, we're still protected. We've got an open mana, and we've got Life's Bounty to give protection to Lurrus. Like, the entire point behind this deck is trying to make sure Lurrus stays alive. If you have protection from Life's Bounty, great. It's the reason this is in a white deck, by the way. Hunted Witness is great. Life's Bounty is kind of the other one. Life's Bounty gives protection to Lurrus. And we also have Kaya's Ghost Form, which we haven't drawn, but Kaya's Ghost Form says whenever this creature dies or is exiled, it gets returned to the battlefield. Okay. They didn't block there, because if they'd blocked the Serrated Scorpion, they'd have gone down to 1 life. If they blocked both, they'd have died. Oh, next turn I can just hit Priest of the Forgotten Gods and sacrifice them. Yep, too little too late. Like, Hydra's Growth is great. I really want to make a card that just does something with Hydra's Growth. I don't know why you're putting on the Life's Bounty instead of, like, I'm the Crisis, but sure. Hi. We're going to kill off our Scorpions. Good game. And there we go. It's the Scorpions are a big factor in this deck. They're Ikoria, they're common, they're 1 mana, and when it dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. So the Scorpions by themselves are fantastic. Combine that with like Cruel Celebrant or, hell, Priest of Forgotten Gods who deals 2 damage anyway. So the next deck does have Cruel Celebrant in opening hand, but it's also just got black mana, which is weird. But hey, we've got Priest of Forgotten Gods, and it's an aggro red deck. Okay. I'm gonna accept it. It's weird. Okay, yeah, you killed my Scorpion. That's not the worst thing that's happened. Alright, Triome. I'm actually going to play the Triome because I need the white. Play another Scorpion. Again, if this is what they're doing, I'm okay with this. I do need to get like a Kaya's Oath or something to protect Dream Den. Witch's Oven. That'll let me sack things at instant speed, which is fantastic. So Cruel Celebrant comes out. Witch's Oven comes out. End turn. Okay, the standard red aggro deck thing of, hey, I can do damage to you. Sure. Sure you can. If you attack me, I'm just going to kill you. So, yeah. Call of the Death Dweller. We can actually return a load of Scorpions. This seems great. But I kind of want to pull out Lurrus. And then we could pull it back with Call of the Death Dweller. I bet you they'll kill Lurrus. But even if they try to exile Lurrus or something, which I don't think they can do in red, we should be fine. Because we can always sack at instant speed. Sacrifice it goes to our graveyard. Next turn we play Call of the Death Dweller to get it back out again. Lava Coil. Right. This will actually exile it. So we're going to beat you to it. I sacrifice, we deal damage, we create a food token. Hi. Death Dweller. I would like to get Lurrus back. I can only have one because it's converted mana cost to 3. It gets Death Touch and Menace. It's not protected right now. And we win! The benefit versus red aggro in this deck is that you can just keep pulling stuff out of your graveyard. And because things are cheap, you tend to have them on the battlefield. For some reason, I call it the deck quite a lot of time. Like, when it hits the deck. Like, when it hits the battlefield, you can keep protecting and you can keep recurring stuff, whereas red aggro is going to start running out of steam. Okay, 2 mana, both types. We do Kaya's Ghost form. We've got Death Dweller. This is pretty good. We've even got a Cauldron Familiar, which... very, very famous for just being like, hey, I'm just going to keep pulling you back over and over and over again. Oh... okay, they're playing a life bounty, sure. I will play a Swamp. And a Serrated Scorpion. What I really need to top this off is a Cruel Celebrant. I will accept a Priest of the Forgotten Gods, though, but I'd like the Cruel Celebrant. Thank you very much. Priest of the Forgotten Gods actually gives me... card draw, because when you sack 2 you get card draw. Okay, we're gonna accept a Plains, which puts the Hunted Witness down, and then we're gonna pop down a Cauldron Familiar, which gives us 1 life, takes 1 life off them, and then we attack with the Scorpion. Nice to see that they're very humble, Lord God Master. Right, more Scry. They're in white, green, and blue. Ah, Stonecoil Serpent. I love Stonecoil Serpent. It doesn't get enough play. I got a Cruel Celebrant. Day is my day. We'll play Castle Lochwain, and then we'll play Cauldron Familiar. Right. I would like mana, though, please. Feel free to block. Great. We get our lifelink token. We get our death trigger for damage. They're down to 12 already. And we have that in our graveyard, so we can pull that out if we need to. Hydra Growth. Okay. We do have a couple of removal spells I literally put in a couple of removal spells. They are sorceries, so not perfect, but you've got Trample, which is annoying. We're going to play Lurrus. And although I could play Hunted Witness, I'm actually not going to bother, even though I've not the mana right. The reason is I want to play Kaya's Ghost Form. White is notorious for having exile, and I do not want to get exiled. Yep, hit the token is a smart move. Grr. It's Great-Hearted again. Hello. I've only seen you a little bit, but it's all been today. We're not going to block this. No reason to block this. Oh, I get protected from multicolored. Yeah, we're all multicolored here. We will play... Ooh. I need a way to sack creatures. I don't have a way to sack creatures. It's really frustrating. I think we need to play you. Then we need to play you. We have an open mana, which allows us to do protection if we need to. But we might lose this one. No, I think I can actually stack it, so we're okay. End turn. If they attack, I'll block. And then we'll get a whole load of death triggers. It's going to be rough, though. There are very few ways we can deal with you.
Now, do you
and, you know, gaining 3 life every turn is not going to help. Okay, we're going to block. With you. With you. With you. With you. And we can't block with multicolored. Block. We might just well lose this one. Alright, death triggers. Get them down to 8. It's not going to be good enough. My turn. Okay, let's start off by playing a Scorpion from the graveyard. Then playing Call of the Death Dweller to get back 2 Cauldron Familiars. Put a Death Touch counter on one, Menace on the other. The Death Touch is what's really needed here. And then we're going to enter you tapped. Okay. No plays here, really. No attacks. This is very close to stalemate. Like, they can kill us, but we'd block and we'd get close, but they wouldn't kill us.
Now
But they have a way to gain life, so they will eventually get out of the stalemate by just saying, hey, I can take whatever you throw at me. And now we're top decking, it's not great. If we draw Forgotten Priest, I think we can win.
I will return.
Okay, they're going to return their Planeswalker, which gives them a +3 health. They're attacking with a Serpent? Okay. We'll block with Death Touch. That means we're going to go to 20, so we need to block with Bounty as well. And the lifelink will mean we go to 2 or 3? 3. 4, okay. Planeswalker comes back.
Steadfast in all your ways.
And then they quit. Okay. The Death Touch counter is key there. You know, I'd always consider the Death Touch counter in that sorcery to be like, hey, this is a nice bumper extra. But actually, it serves a pretty good defense against that kind of thing. If they'd waited one more turn, I think they would have just killed us, though. Hi, 2 mana, 2 Priests of Forgotten Gods, no white. I'm going to accept it on the basis of we don't need much mana. It's an odd start. Hello. Is this sack aggro? Probably aggro. I'll pay the life. And if they want to keep targeting removal spells. Oh, 7 dwarves. Oh, it's a 7 dwarves aggro deck. Weird. Okay, we're going to play Priest of Forgotten Gods. There's a reason for that. I kind of want them to point a removal spell at it because they've got a second one in hand. And they might look at it and be like, this is super dangerous. But we do need some of our other things. Like, we need a couple more Scorpions. We need Cauldron Cats. We need something. We'll block. We'll sack. So get a food and a token. We'll play another witness. We'll play a priest. And then no attacks. Kind of tempted just to take the hit, but I think, you know what? Yeah, we'll take the hit. I can use the mana on a subsequent turn. They might be able to make them big. No? Okay. Right. I've got no protection if I bring out Lurrus this turn, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to hold it back again. Oh, no, we can do. We'll sacrifice our token and the witness. It's not perfect. But I want the mana and the card draw, which gets us Cruel Celebrant, which we can't play, which sucks. So play Lurrus, and then we can play Serrated Scorpion. And then I think that's just it for turn. And then we could attack the Priest of Forgotten Gods. But I'm going to hold back, because that way we can sack 2, destroy one of theirs. Again, it's better if we do it on our turn, because we get the mana. We kind of know a white source, like a Plains would be nice. And especially if we do it on our turn, we can get Cruel Celebrant out, so the sacking will do more damage. I'm kind of hoping they don't attack me this turn, but they probably will. They don't really have much to lose. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm going to let them hit me. This is going to get a little risky. Yeah. Down to 8. Really a triumph. We can always cycle it, I guess. I don't think we can afford to sack our creatures. I think we have to wait for them to hit us. So I'm just going to place you normally, which will give us white next turn, but not this turn. We've got 2 mana, so we can sacrifice the food for mana if we wanted. We can do that instant speed, though, so I'm just going to say for now, no attacks. And then again, we can respond to them with stacks instant speed. That's one of the things I really like about sacrifice, just as a mechanic, is that we can do it instant speed. So if they target us, we'll be like, cool, I sacrifice it instead. At least I get something out of it. It goes down on my own terms. Right, we don't have a way to protect Lurrus, so Lurrus is going to die here. But we can either get food out of it, or we can get a card draw and damage and kill one of theirs, so I think we'll do that. We will kill you, and we will kill a token. Now, amusingly, before this happens, I can sack again. So before they get the Satyr... Oh, they're going to kill Cruel Celebrant? Okay, in which case I'm going to sack Cruel Celebrant. This is such a weird stack. I love it. Resolve. Resolve. I'm actually gonna add a food to the stack because I can. You have to sacrifice. You'll lose 2 life. Can I pay the cycling cost on this? Yes, because I've got floating mana from doing the thing. Okay. Because you can cycle outside of your turn. I guess I can cycle using the Priest of Forgotten Gods there. That was weird. Oh, we got it! Call the Death Dwellers! Thank you! So, wait. How much life you got? 5. Let's check this. I can do 3... 2... I can do it. I can kill them this turn. I need to get back Serrated Scorpion and Cruel Celebrant. Kaya's Ghost Form. Target you. Sacrifice these 2. And then that will do 5 damage, regardless of the sack trigger. There we go. Done. Good game. They're mad. And they're playing red aggro. They do not have a right to be mad at me right now. There we go. And they explode. I really enjoy this deck. It's not perfect. It definitely suffers in some lineups, but I really do enjoy this deck. Alright, so let's talk about this deck in a little bit more detail. Of course, EE has Lurrus, the Dream Den, as our companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck must have a mana cost of 2 or less. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. It says permanent, not creature. Arguably a little overpowered, because we can get back permanents that protect Lurrus Kaya's ghost form, I'm looking at you. Seriously, it's just such a great combination. We have Alseed of Life's Bounty, entirely there, although we didn't actually use it. For the sacrifice, costs 1 mana, gives protection. So if they target Lurrus, we can be like, okay, in response, I sacrifice, which might trigger other stuff, but... And we get protection. And all it's cost us is 1 mana and this card. So arguably 2 mana, whatever, but we get a sacrifice trigger. Hunted Witness. It's a 2-for-1. It's, I can sacrifice you, get the token, sacrifice the token. Fantastic. It's brilliant. Like, it's a common. It's just so good. Cauldron Familiar. When Cauldron Familiar enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Sacrifice a food, return Cauldron Familiar from the graveyard to battlefield. We didn't actually do that, but that's the thing. So, again, really, really handy. Another way to sacrifice to get back Cauldron Familiar. And as you guessed, and many, many of you probably know, I don't know if you're new to Magic or not, I know my channel people, some of the people really know Magic, and a lot of people are like, what is Magic? Cauldron Familiar works with Witch's Oven. You use Witch's Oven to sacrifice a creature to make a food, and then you use the food to get back Cauldron Familiar. So basically you just get a loop where every turn you can do a bit of damage. Serrated Scorpion, absolutely fantastic. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to the opponent, you gain 2 life. It costs 1 mana. Yeah, sure, I'll sack this, and then I'll get it back with Lurrus, and then I'll sack it again. Kaya's Ghost Form, the way to protect Lurrus. Enchant creature or planeswalker you control. It does work on planeswalkers. When enchanted permanent dies or put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. So, Lurrus gets Ghost Form, someone tries to blow it up, or exile it, it leaves the battlefield, and then comes back. That's great. Spark Harvest. This maybe shouldn't be in. It's mostly in to deal with planeswalkers. I'm not sure whether it should be in the deck or not. But Spark Harvest, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, or pay 4 extra mana, including a black. So you can either do 1 black and sacrifice, and hey, we want to do a lot of sacrifices anyway. Often we need a sacrifice trigger. Or we just pay more. And we can destroy a creature or planeswalker. The deck does have problems with creatures, like you saw with the big Stonecoil Serpent. Like, we need a way to kill that. This is the solution. There's only 2 of them in the deck, though, so I'm not sure where they live right now. Do we need more? Do we need less? I don't know. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Classic. Tap it. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature. So you do 2 damage, you get them to sacrifice a creature of their choice, you add black mana, and draw a card. So, roughly on average with this deck, you are sacrificing 2 creatures, drawing a card, playing a card, because you probably can with the mana, and you do 2 damage. It's pretty good. And because you're playing a lot of cheap stuff, the idea is to, try and get them to sacrifice something important. Cruel Celebrant. Whenever Cruel Celebrant on another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. Yeah, okay. It synergizes. Call of the Death Dweller. This is an Ikoria card that works so well. Sorcery, so we can't get it back from our graveyard, and even if we could, it's too much mana, but return up to 2 target creature cards for a total converted mana cost of 3 or less, so it's either Lurrus or basically 2 other things in our deck. From your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, put a Menace counter on either of them. It's pretty good. I mean, you can use it to get back like we did, like Priest of Forgotten Gods and a Scorpion, and then the Scorpion gets Death Touch, so if someone attacks, it charges the Scorpion dies. And then if we attack with Priest of Forgotten Gods, and they have 1 creature, they can't block it. So, this is a really good card. And a lot of this is, synergizing really well. Serrated Scorpion, Lurrus, Call of the Death Dweller are all Ikoria. Everything else is a bit older, but those 3 are kind of key in this deck. Without them, I don't think this deck would work anywhere near as well. I mean, forget Lurrus, maybe, because, I guess it's important, but without Serrated Scorpion or Call of the Death Dweller, this deck doesn't work. I really, really like the deck. It's simple. It does its thing. I'm still not certain what we do with Spark Harvest. Like, it is a sorcery. Technically, we should be playing more creatures because we can get them back, or I guess permanents, like maybe an enchantment. So, say, like a Pacifism. But that doesn't work on planeswalkers. So if we play Pacifism, that creature dies, we get pacifism into the graveyard, we can play pacifism again. Maybe that's what we should be doing. Either way, I think it's a pretty good setup. The lands, you can massively ignore the lands. It turns out I don't actually have that many lands that I needed for this deck. But you'll notice that we have triomes. The reason behind the triomes is 100% they have cycling. Because what you'll find a lot with this deck is that you're like, hey, okay, we're getting past the early game, we're getting to the mid game. I have, 4 land, 5 land. I don't need more lands because I can't spend that much of my turn because I don't have enough cards in hand. Oh, look, I drew a land. I guess I'll play the land. In this case, oh, I drew a triome. I'll just cycle it. And that's the reason it's there. It's there for the cycling cost. Worst case scenario, we play a land and it's tapped. Best case scenario, we need it. Mid case scenario, I drew it. I cycle it. So it's useful for that. Other than that, pretty reasonable. Like, the lands need sorting, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with this deck. I don't think I'd make too many adjustments. The only thing I'm really iffy about is, like, Spark Harvest. One of the things I definitely wanted to get in was... where is it? Burglar Rat. I really considered making this, like, a little bit of a rat deck. Because when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. And I kind of like being able to get a 2-for-1, because, like, I'm playing a card, but they're losing a card. So it's kind of getting that extra bonus, and because it's when it enters the battlefield, if it dies, goes to the graveyard, I pull it out of the graveyard with Lurrus, it dies, and you can just, keep milling someone's hand. Is it milling their hand? It's just discarding their hand, whatever. It may be tempting to try and get Piper of the Swarm in just to use tokens or whatever, but honestly, it's a bit too expensive. You can always hey, I want to go long game, sacrifice 3 rats, gain control of target creature or whatever, but honestly, you shouldn't really have that many rats on the battlefield. This deck isn't built for going too long. I really like it. I dig this deck. It wasn't actually too many wild cards and stuff to be able to use to get it. I had most of the creatures anyway, and a lot of these are commons or uncommons. I think the only rares in the deck, obviously Lurrus is a rare, Priest of Forgotten Gods is a rare. Everything else I think is uncommon or common. Yeah. So this is actually a really easy deck to make. If you're picking up Magic the Gathering Arena for free using the link down in the description, because this is a sponsored video, you could actually probably make this deck without too much hassle. You literally just need, 5 rare cards and then some uncommons and commons, and it works quite well. The downside, of course, is, lands, but you don't need the triomes to make it work. But obviously, the fancy lands, as I like to call them, the fancy lands, I know they're called tap lands, but whatever, are rares, but you don't need them necessarily to make it work. That's been it for the video. Like I said, there is a link down below if you want to make your own Nightmare Cat deck. Go check it out. You can play it for free, and you can play the whole new Ikoria set with all the cool stuff that's going on, which, companions. Companions are definitely the meta right now, just because it's hey, I have a free card. It does limit your deck, but sometimes it's fun to play with limited deck building strats. For now, though, I've been EnterElysium. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Until next time, enjoy your Nightmare Cats. Stay shiny.